Right, I'm going to bring up the next speaker right now. I do not know the words to use to describe him. I will just say this. He's a phenomenal person, phenomenal personality that I feel close to in a short period of time. We don't know for long. But when a man talks, even the things he's not saying, if you are wise, you will hear it. That is why I'm saying I don't know how to describe it. Alright? But I want to use this one word. He's a man that knows how to pay the price for the price. He's also a multi-dimensional man with several awards in his name. Simple, smooth, and open.
Well, a lot of movies of me, I get very uncomfortable when I'm in the field. Anything other than Aboki, broadcaster, filmmaker, makes me very uncomfortable. So, but all the same, I sincerely appreciate this privilege. I do not take it for granted. And my job, unlike my last job, is a bit easier. It's not to analyze the economy. My job, analyzing Nigeria's economy at the moment is very difficult. When you have about 14.6% inflation rate, high level of unemployment and all that, it's difficult to analyze. My job is to share my story, just a little part of my story, to drive home a point. And so I will start with a question. If you feel you are disadvantaged by your location, by your geographical location, do you feel that you are not succeeding because you were born and told, not born and bred? You were born and carried at Odawa? Do you feel disadvantaged by the fact that you were born in the barracks? Do you feel disadvantaged by the fact that you were not born in high-road areas, GRA, Lekki? Do you feel that you are not succeeding as much as you should because you grew up at the gate? Do you think so? Do you feel you are disadvantaged by your geographical placement? Think about it. Because growing up, we were made to believe in theology as if we were by birth disadvantaged. While growing up, it was as if because we were barrack boys, there was a limit to how much we can attain in life. And we believed it. Only a few of us who broke away from the norm are having the opportunity to stand this morning to address very important people like you. And I can tell you for free, even though I wouldn't mention some names, is that some of the people that were born in the barracks together, as I speak to you, they are still in prisons. And I remember one particularly, Omonu, he died in prisons. We were in the same block. Now, my father was a prison warder, so I call him a jailer. I grew up in the prison barracks. Specifically, I grew up at the Independence Prison Barracks in Kaduna. So I'm a prison barracks born. It means I'm even a second-class barrack born. Because first-class barrack born should be from the military barracks, right? Now, growing up, was that we had interactions with prisoners because we bow our head in the prisons. There were no clippers, it was kaka kaka kaka. So we used to go into the prison yards to bow our heads. We used to go into the prison yards for Christmas carol because the prisoners were hosting carols. You know, there are mosques and there are churches in the prison yards. And then the prisoners used to be brought out every end of the month to our barracks field pitch to play against their jailers who happens to be our fathers. And so we will all be watching the match. And one thing I can tell you for free also was that growing up, our fathers never defeated the prisoners because the prisoners were very good players. As a matter of fact, if you talk to anybody who grew up in the 80s and 90s in Kaduna, the prisons had one of the most formidable football teams. During the days of Rangers Bees, UNTL, the prison had a very good team. So, but again, when the prisoners won our parents, only the children celebrated. And we did that innocently. Our parents will celebrate. Their wives, our mothers, will then not celebrate. And the prisoner, as far as we knew, always defeated our parents. And then I didn't know, for strange reasons, our parents would always bring them back at the end of the month to play. Were they thinking they would never win? They actually never won. Because the prisoners were playing very skillfully. So we had interaction with the prisoners, and then we knew by what our parents were telling us, you could end up in the prisons. If you steal, you might end up in the prisons. If you do this, you might end up as a prisoner. And then it was the late 80s and early 90s. Then there were executions by firing squad. So they will pack us from the barracks anytime there will be an execution. We will come to the barrack gate, to the prison gate, and we will see the prisoners filing out to enter the park barrier. And then we will then rush to Rangers Stadium and wait, and then the prisoners will be tied up. And then they will pray for them. The ones that will meet the imams will meet the imams, the ones that will meet the pastors will meet the pastors, and they will shoot them, they will execute them before our eyes. So we knew how it was. It was up with them. So we knew that we could either end up as prisoners or as warders. Because then our parents would tell us, okay, after secondary school, we'll pick a form for you, you join the force. Either the police force, the prison service, by sheer lobbying the customs, very hard to get them. Or all of us almost would have ended up in the military, and not as officers. So, where is my point driving to? Is that automatically, by default, we were already classified, our destiny determined, our path determined, our quest was already defined, our story was already written. It was either we were prisoners or we were in the services. And I'm not saying this to put any force or any service down, but I was telling you so that you understood that growing up was that our path was already defined for us without our permission, without our consent. And then a few of us who thought differently were perceived to be rebels. We became almost rebellion because we were thinking that we deserved something better. Who is a barrack boy here? Okay, forget barrack boy. Who is a ghetto boy? Almost everybody. Now, our barracks is that there are top floor and down lower floor, from 1 to 5. 6 rooms upstairs, 6 rooms downstairs. So, 3 rooms will share 1 bathroom, 2 rooms, 1 toilet. And I said it yesterday on air that no matter your number, I know our parents can give birth. You know, poor people can give birth. No matter the number, you had just room and parlor. So if you were 6, as we were 5 then, before our last daughter came, everybody would naturally sleep in the parlor. It wasn't a living room, it was a parlor. Only chairman and chairman would be inside. And then sadly, the way I don't know if I catch the architect that designed the parlor, they'll be trouble. You know why? You can't access the balcony to look into. Okay, this was the setting. There was a pitch in between. Then all the blocks, all the backyards of the blocks were facing the pitch. And those were the bedrooms. So if Oga and Madam are inside, you can't cross to come to the balcony to watch people moving or to watch football. And then of course, if you want to go and eat yourself, no matter how late, you have to travel to the bathroom or travel to the toilet. So automatically we're disadvantaged. Automatically we're second fiddle. Automatically we're second class citizens because we're not born in GR. Or so we thought. Well, you wouldn't even blame us, Oga. It was the message that was passed to us. It was the theology that was fed us. Our parents were very good people and very comfortable. And they meant well. Because if they knew differently, they would have acted differently. So we all knew, all of us, plenty of us, knew how we were supposed to end. In the force, maybe by now I would have been like coming through the ranks, I would maybe inspector. Highest maybe ASP. Because my father has served for 35 years, he managed to retire as a deputy superintendent. Managed. Hardworking man. All his mates ended up as controller of prisons. And then to tell you how much a son of a jailer I was, even my mentality would have been jailed. Because my father was a prison warder, his elder brother was a prison warder, his younger brother was a prison warder. So automatically I was a prisoner. May God bless his soul, both him and his elder brother who even retired as a controller of a command. The younger brother retired, he's still alive, he's the only one alive. So, everything about our lives was already predetermined. There was nothing else to do. We were disadvantaged already. But we refused. We refused the fact that even though we were born in the barracks, we didn't allow the barracks to be born in us. Even though we were born in the gutters, we didn't allow the gutter to be born in us. I broke away. I knew I needed a better life. I knew I needed to move into my destiny. I knew I wanted something more. Something kept pushing me to rebel against the tradition, to rebel against convention, to refuse to accept the norms. So at age 15, I disappeared. I'm not saying you should disappear. In any case, you are more than 17. At age 17, I disappeared. from Kaduna. They looked for me. I shared it yesterday on air, even up to mortuary, if I might have died somewhere. And after the search, they came up. And I wasn't to be seen till 4 years later. And then there were no phones, so there was nobody calling anybody. And all I had was 500 naira, which my sister's colleague dashed me. And Labour had boss then. It's not now that they are striking up and down and are not thinking productively. They had bosses, painted red and yellow that time. And to Lagos it was 400 naira. So technically, if I didn't eat, I would arrive Lagos with 100 naira. Thank God it was not journey, so I didn't eat. So I go to Lagos with 100 naira. And I said, when I saw how rough Lagos was, I knew that by the next morning, I should be heading back home. But something said, no, I will stay here and I'll make it. And what was my dream? I wanted to be acting on Tales by No Life that we were watching on TV. In any case, it wasn't even our TV. Lagos TV. Lagos black and white. I remember the only person that had, in the whole of my block, the only person that had a color TV that time was the coach, Mohammed. He was the coach of the prisons. And he was also coaching Rangers Bees as an assistant coach, so he was able to get the color TV. So we all hang by the window to watch Indian film. Who can relate? So his son that time, anytime we were playing ball with him, you cannot touch him. You know you know what to do. You know what to do. Jugulu. You know what it. Okay, so that was how I got to Lagos. And that was how I said I would come back the next day. And that was how I spent 10 years. The first time they saw me was on television. My brother, my immediate and only brother, is with the Air Force now. You see, they're pushing to the force. But he's lucky, at least he's in the presidential air fleet. So, they were watching television and lo and behold, there was I. They screamed, shouted, all the airports. I've arrived. They were seeing me on TV. What did I have? I will share with you. I had a dream. And I love to dream. Do you know why I love to dream? It is free. No matter the size of your dream, it is free. Nobody charges you for dreaming. And whether your dream comes to fruition, comes to pass or not, nobody will charge you. Nobody will come and bill you for dreaming. If you dream to become Nigeria's president, it is free. And dream, I'm not talking about the one that you sit that start and lie down and snore and wake up and say you want to be. No. I'm talking about painting a mental picture of where you want to become, where you want to be, or who you want to become. I broke away from tradition. I refused to accept the thinking that was set for me. I had my dream. I wanted to become an actor. And I pursued my dream, which is the second point. It's not enough to dream. You substantiate your dream with an action. At 17, Lagos was raw. It's not the Lagos of now. It was not Lagos that allowed that you be moving and you find dead body thrown somewhere. The dirty Lagos. Only you know that time. And normally, I would have disappeared with my friend. Because when we got there, I met my friend at his auntie's place and she gave us quick notice to leave the house in 24 hours. So we were in the street again. A guy who we met who came to visit his relations in Kaduna now invited, we located him at Obalende. On getting there, we now found out that he was living in a slum. But at least we needed a roof over our heads. By strange or divine arrangement, we left that place that morning that night that we got there, for strangely we left, and that night there was a raid, and they packed everybody. We didn't know that that place was a hideout for bad guys. I don't know where the guy is now, if he's alive or if he has died inside prisons. Well, that's the job by the way. I took an action and I started going to NTA because I wanted to become an actor. I started looking for scripts of all productions, old productions. I started studying the scripts. Action. I started learning. I became a production assistant on One Big Family. St. Paul, they will send us up and down. They will cross leg and send us to Mexico. But I wanted to change my story. I wanted to put my family on the world map. I wanted to be a global player. And I didn't want to be disadvantaged by my growth, by my location. And today is history. So, good enough, I'm not a motivational speaker, so I'm not here to excite you. They said I should share my story, a little bit of it, and that's what I'm doing. I dreamt, I took an action, and today I can stand to talk to you because I have evidence of the risk I took. There is nobody, I say with all humility, who is in the media, in the whole Nigeria, that is as awarded as I am. 67 awards. 67. And this 67 includes international awards. I'm a youth ambassador for peace for the United Nations. I'm ambassador of water for rural Africa, it's not Nigeria. I am the only Nigerian in the Global Speakers Network that is big, and that is in the United States of America. I've been honored with a honorary doctorate degree from University of Minnesota in the US. I'm not talking about that university degree inside Nigeria. You know what? I refuse to accept my background. Because my front ground is more important than my background. Yes. So I was more interested in my front ground than my background. I'm not telling you this to excite you, but I'm telling you that if a Barrett boy like me will become a global player, then you are more advantaged. And I'll tell you how. If there were internet, if there was Oni talking to me, if there was Madam Esther talking to me, if there was Ola talking to me, then I would have been Dangote now. Because there was no information. You cannot go on the internet. You know how it was when you go to the cafe. But right now, you have everything at your disposal. It's just a Google away. It's just to Google it. If I had the much information that I have now, if I was able to attend seminars and workshops, especially such that I'm not even paying, trust me, me and Dangote will be rubbing shoulders. I am not regretting. I am not regretting. But I'm telling you, the third one, information that you have right now. Information is at your disposal. Knowledge is at your disposal. There is nothing you can't find on the internet, including how to commit suicide. Google it. Ways to die. Google it. You see it now. If I had a Zion taking me to see learning annex to teach me that time, one life, me and Dangote will be dragging. Because I refuse to accept my identity or the identity that was carved for me. I refused. So I knew I would have pushed for knowledge. I didn't know what it is to act on things what look like, except a free. And I thought I was an actor. Today, I could film with big budget. Our movie is coming out in February, 12th of February. We co-produced with Dimbo Atia, Still Falling. That's the title of the film. We spent 41 million for the film. We featured actors like Miss Benson and others. It wasn't like that before. The short film I finished last year, at the close of last year, has won Best Short Film, Toronto International Film Festival 2 months ago. Best Short Film, Cardiff 2020. Official selection, Prisma Festival Award, Italy. Official selection, Linked Up, UK. Everywhere, and the film is just 22 minutes, 22 seconds. As I round up, I will tell you the fourth one. When you have a dream and you take an action and you have information at your disposal, what do you do? You push further. You push beyond the boundaries. You take risk. We dream too little. We dream too small. I don't like small dreams. I don't like small dreams. Because if I want to own an airline, I might not own it today, but I can dream it today. There's nothing wrong with it. I can dream to own an airline without having a ticket. So it means I can think global, but I will stand local. It's just for me to see. It's just for me to push. It's just for me to risk. Take the risk. Sometimes you fail, other times you succeed. But you just don't stop dreaming. I watched an American movie a long time ago. I forgot, I can't remember the title of the movie. I can't remember the lead actors, but I remember one guy. And all that he did throughout the movie was, as we are talking now, he passed in the background. All he was saying throughout the movie was, welcome to Hollywood, the land of many dreams. Some dreams come true, some not, but keep dreaming. You just pass. In another scene, you just see him passing. Welcome to Hollywood, the land of many dreams. Some dreams come true, some not, but keep dreaming. That was what he did throughout the movie. All that he did was, welcome to Hollywood, the land of many dreams. Some dreams come true, some don't, but keep dreaming. And when you dream the dream, when you get the information, when you take the action, you keep pushing. That's how to succeed. You don't succeed by wishing. I wish to succeed. If you can succeed by wishing, we will not come on this workshop. We'll just sit down and wish. Me, I will just wish I'm US president. Okay. I'll drop the mic. What other thing did I do? I became very studious. I read like a Christian. If I don't read in a month, I read 2 books. The last I checked, I've read over 350 books. So how will somebody who doesn't want to read wants to succeed more than me? It's not possible. Because the secret is in somebody's book. And the young people, I salute you. Do you know why I salute you? You are mentally lazy. You don't want to do nothing. You want God to help you. I am not like you. I don't have any of you helping me anyway. And just like Ola, nobody gives me anything. Nobody. Nobody. I was surprised when one of the people I met this morning here, the lady just came, greeted me, we have met before, and she gave me a gift. And when I opened the gift, I was wow, 200 hectare recharge card. 200. That's huge. For somebody who doesn't receive gifts. And I appreciate it. Do you know why they don't give me this? They concluded I have. He has money, he has money. And I'm glad that nobody is giving me. Because it means I have to push. I have to find my own. And I enjoy giving. Even though I just whispered to Ola, say, you can't stinginess, I will do it 2021. It will shock even me myself. Because when Ola finished talking, I found out I was very reckless with money. Very reckless. There was a time I did a job, should I say it? There was a time I did a job and I made some good profit. That was when I remember who had asked me for money one time. I tell you before God and man. I tell you before God and man. In one day, I transferred dash over 2 million. I will just remember Jennifer and one asked me for a bag of rice. I'll just say send account. Just send 30K, 40K, 50K. But I don't want to do that again. No, I don't want to do that. I want to invest in 2020, I want to invest more. So I'll round up with an exercise. Honestly, please come over. I need 2 volunteers. By the way, just for the record, in the first quarter of 2020, I'm launching my hotel. I'm not talking about just a law, it's true. We're talking about an experience. When you come, you want to come again. But don't forget, I was that same prison barracks boy who just drank. And of course, honestly, is the manager of my company. I have a company, Godwin Media. It's the biggest agency in the north. Just in last year, how much was it? Yes, over 200 million. I'm not telling you that I have money coming. Good enough, I invested all the money. Okay, so let me have 2 volunteers. Yes. Give her the line. Slaughter the line. Be careful with your hand. Slaughter it. Be careful with your hand. Good. Okay, give her the tumbler. Thank you. Honestly, he's one of the most reliable people in the world. I'm privileged to be his oga. Squeeze a thing here. All right, thank you. Take a sip. Sip it. How does it taste? Salt, right? Give it to him. Sip. How does it taste? So very soft. Okay, so this is the line, right? Honestly, you just give them the line. So let's say you are line. You just give them line. Honestly, is line. And you give them line. And they both say is okay. Honestly, bring sugar. Squeeze more. Put sugar. And shake it. Bring water. But take it some more. Take it and be honest. No school. Use the knife. How is it? She was blushing. Sweet, right? It's sweet. You agree? Honestly, test it too. How does it feel? So, this is what life gives you. A life. All that life, honestly, was life, gave them life. What did they do? They sliced the lime and made lemonade, spiced it up, added sugar, and it became sweet. So what we are saying is that you were born in Brigade, that was lime. You were born in the Barras, lime. You were born in Badawa, lime. You were not born in GRA, Lekki, lime. It was left for you to sweep, to sip, squeeze the lime and drink it like that, or carry sugar, add to it. And this sugar that you are adding means hard work, means information, means learning, means studying, means following people that have made it in life to learn. It means learning. It means internship. It means sleepless nights. Because I cannot at my age be sleeping 3 hours in a day, and then you sleep 8 hours, and you want to come and succeed at what I do. It's not possible. It's not. If not, if you defeat the law of life, people like me and Aboki, we sleep very late. That's why we are now on. Okay, some of them are billionaires, and then we are on the way. So that's how it is. It's not much more than that. Thank you very much.
Don't tell me to sleep. I don't know about you, but I'm already thinking. Initially, I thought I had a big vision and a big dream. But now, even when I think I need to relax, please help me appreciate Aboki once more.